In the depths of a cold, desolate night, when the city's remnants whispered tales of broken dreams and abandoned promises, a heart-wrenching scene unfolded that would etch itself indelibly into the memory of anyone who dared to look upon it. Within the confining walls of a decaying prison, whose rusted iron bars and crumbling stone testified to decades of indifference and injustice, an elderly man, his life weathered by the relentless tides of sorrow and regret, sat shackled in a dim, isolated cell, where muted lamplight struggled desperately against the encroaching darkness. Each tear that slid down his lined face, a silent plea for redemption and the chance to reclaim a dignity long denied. While beyond those unforgiving boundaries, in the unforgiving chill of an urban wasteland, a devoted dog, its coat dulled and rugged from years of hardship, yet burning with an unwavering flame of loyalty, moved with a purpose that defied the bitter despair of its surroundings. The dog, remembering fondly the gentle caresses and soft murmurs of reassurance from a time when its owner's robust laughter filled quiet rooms, now roamed the ghostly corridors of the forsaken cityscape with resolute determination, its ears attuned to the echo of his master's sorrowful cries that, like mournful hymns, seeped through the narrow window of confinement, compelling it to brave the perilous unknown beyond, where the shadows of corruption and neglect coalesced into towering bulwarks of oppression. With every measured step along cracked sidewalks layered in the dust of shattered hopes, and amidst alleyways where even the faintest light of mercy seemed extinguished by the relentless weight of systemic cruelty, the dog's heart beat with a singular, fervent purpose: to liberate the old man who had once given it a home, a family, a reason to believe in the sanctity of life. And as the loyal animal circled the perimeter of the decrepit compound under a tapestry of starless skies, its desperate barks and persistent pawings against rusted locks became an anthem of rebellion against the injustice that had imprisoned a soul so beloved, echoing like a clarion call across the barren expanse of a city long forsaken. In a display of raw courage that blurred the lines between animal instinct and the transcendent depths of human emotion, the dog pressed against the cold, unyielding barrier, a symbol of a fate imposed by cruel forces, and with each determined stroke, its every action whispered the possibility of a new dawn, where the chains of cruelty might be shattered by the indomitable power of love. The old man, his eyes brimming with a myriad of memories, of lost years, of battles fought only in silence, and of a lifetime of gentle kindness now contrived in the form of these tearful pleas for mercy, listened with a trembling heart as the faint sounds of struggle and defiance drifted through the stifling air. Listened with a trembling heart as the faint sounds of struggle and defiance drifted through the stifling air, mingling with the persistent rhythm of the dog's resolute heartbeats, as it orchestrated a quiet uprising against the means of imprisonment that had so long held them both captive. In that singular, breathless moment, when time itself seemed to pause and the very air shimmered with the unspoken promise of liberation, the old man's anguished cries fused with the loyal dog's steadfast determination to create a symphony of hope that reverberated through the dilapidated corridors of the forsaken cell, forging an unbreakable bond that defied the cruel logic of confinement and whispered of a future where even the most impenetrable prison of despair could be dismantled by the luminous force of unyielding devotion. Every scrape of claws against metal, every fragment of rusted concrete displaced by the relentless push of love served as a reminder that in the heart of darkness, a single spark of loyalty and compassion can ignite a revolution. A revolution that transcends the visceral pain of separation, transforms tearful pleas into actions of daring rescue, and ultimately paves the way for the renewal of a spirit held captive not only by physical bars, but by the sorrow of unfulfilled dreams. Thus, as the night deepened and the cold winds carried away the last vestiges of a forgotten past, the determined dog, driven by a love that knew neither bounds nor decay, surged forward with a valor that transcended its own mortal limits, daring to challenge a system built on isolation and despair, and in doing so, breathed new life into the old man's fading hope, a hope that, woven together with every courageous step and every desperate, tearful cry for help, would stand as an eternal testament to the indomitable power of the human and animal spirit, heralding the promise that even in the bleakest hours, love remains a force strong enough to break the cruelest of chains and lead the way towards a dawn where redemption, compassion, and renewal intertwine to create a future steeped in the radiant light of possibility.